Welcome to another video with me, Onyx. I guess I should say welcome back to Full Circle with me, Onyx. Um, this video is kind of on why people are so toxic. Um, Maybe why you're toxic, why you can't heal, why you can't let go, and why other people can't look at themselves, heal, and let go. Like, why can't we just get real, be authentic, take off our masks, stop being frenemies? What is up with all this madness, this craziness? Why is everyone so dysregulated? Um, so, a lot of those questions that don't get any real answers, this video might really clarify it for you. Hold on one moment. All right. I had to grab my tea, and for some reason, I wanted to grab my little ocean jasper heart that a friend gave me. I'm totally in love with it. It's just like, it feels so good. I was like, why are people so balls deep into ocean jasper? Then I got myself a piece and my body like fell in love with it. It was so supportive. So balancing, help move bullshit out of the way. So all things magical, mystical, spiritual, you find here with me in my videos. Uh, and I have been thinking, why is my sister such a big C word? Why every time I'm talking, so I have five sisters, and my favorite sister is beautiful. My favorite sister is accomplished. She's a go getter. She's also gone through a lot of struggles and is just admirer. I admire her. And then when it's nothing on the outside, on the inside, I just vibe with her, you know? So I think naturally we just get along, but she's very busy. She's a double fixed sign, so she has a very full life. So even though I've been living the retired lifestyle ever since I was born, you know, just kind of sitting back and observing life because I usually just have a lot of low energy. Uh, I still feel like we're friends. Anyways, so every time I start getting along with my favorite sister, the other sister will throw a fit. Make it like she'll just want attention and throw a fit. And sometimes she'll sling negative energy and stuff. And in the moment, I kind of am a little bit surprised. I'm like, but I also handle it correctly. So it's weird. Instinctively and my natural impulse, I handle stuff correctly. And then I go home and I feel bad and I'm wondering what's up. And then I start analyzing it and figure out stuff and then go, yeah, you handled that correctly. But, there's a lot of new learning maybe. Uh, so that's what this video is about. Um, why we deny how toxic we are, or how we turn a blind eye and justify our actions to hurt other people. And yeah, it really does come down to wanting attention and seeking approval through negative ways. Uh, and my conclusion was we subscribe to very twisted ideas, or we even twist ideas in our own mind. Any attention is better than no attention. So I rather have people upset and giving me some form of energy than no energy at all. So, in one of my previous videos, I think I talked about lack consciousness. Anytime you feel like you're not enough, you're not getting enough, that kind of includes unlovable, unworthy. Uh, it also includes resentment and not having your expectations met, because you're not getting what you need. So you find lack consciousness everywhere, which then breeds envy, jealousy, wanting, needing, compulsion, hunger, drive, ambition. And so the pendulum can swing, and we over exaggerate. We get too aggressive about stuff. We can't chill out. We take things way too personal. There's no room for reasonability, for flexibility, for negotiations. We just get too single minded. Things are so black and white. Yes and no. The stakes are so high. You either go out with me and then I can approve of myself, or you don't, and then now I hate myself. These like extreme feelings, these extreme attitudes that kind of possess us, possess others, and force us to act out unconsciously. So, in a Caroline Myss interview and in her book, there is like a chapter and a section where she discusses why people don't heal. And it was kind of very general because it was made for the general public, you know, and that was years ago. But I circle back around to it to why do people stay toxic? And so I kind of like, it was like, how did they get there is one thing, but why do they choose to stay there? And they may not know they're there. So if you feel stuck in life, your toxicity is growing. You need change. You need new input. You need variety. You need flexibility. You need joy. You need different information coming in. So if you're being closed-minded due to maybe some religious beliefs, some of the most toxic people I've ever met believe in good and evil and some type of religious standard. And they're trying to uphold the good and unconsciously turning a blind eye to their own darkness, not finding balance, and not finding self-acceptance truly. So strong beliefs is usually the culprit, what you subscribe to. But then there's like behaviors like keeping your negative thoughts and feelings to yourself, trying to work it out all on your own, is kind of dangerous. With limited input and variety, if you're not being agitated in different ways by other people and exposing yourself to different walks of life, then you can't clear the toxicity. It's like mold and fungus growing in the dark, and needing room to breathe. So the air gets super toxic. So a mind that's just ruminating and overthinking and just using its limited tools to try to solve problems hour after hour, day after day, night after night, or constant feelings of worry and anxiety and depression. You need change. So take yourself on a walk, go socialize. That's why being isolating too long is dangerous for your health. So it's balance. Having some isolation, you can really process a lot of stuff and heal and work some stuff out on your own and receive some ahas. But then it can get toxic pretty fast. Dealing with the same social group, always going to the same counselor, um, can limit you and keep you toxic. So, because you need that variety, you need the updates, you need different reflections shining back at you, how to live life. There's not just one way. Health doesn't look one way. And so, this lack of flexibility creating rigidity, these strong fixed beliefs that we've subscribed to, that we've been loyal to, that we build our personality and our world, our construct, internal and external, around. These, once upon a time, good values, good beliefs, they're outdated and now they're toxic. They're not serving you truly. So, these are the reasons. Uh, and then let's really kind of go more into the haters. Like, why doesn't she feel bad for being so toxic? Why does she weaponize her toxicity and sling it at other people and feel proud of herself? You know, why does she grow a big ego? Why does she power trip? And so I feel like toxic people have learned to get what they want by actually embracing it and using it as a tool. You're going to be manipulated by toxic behaviors, passive and aggressive. And what you need to know is they have no intention of changing. Why would you give up your favorite sword, your favorite club, your dart, your needle, your poison, your rope, your whip, your chains? Why would you give up all these tools that you use to navigate life with? You would have to learn something different. And in their mind, being kind, being sweet, equals vulnerability, equals taken advantage of, equals target. They target naive, sweet, open resources to use. So they're either going to embrace it and, yeah, I'm going to drink more of this toxic stuff and get a power up, level up, and then go bash my way through another day of life. Or they will deny it, feel bad about it, which will then still feed it, but they'll keep that dark side hidden and behind their own back. You know, they won't know what the left hand is doing, but they'll pay attention to the right. So they'll live a life of denial. So we get frenemies usually with that one. And then I guess you could get the masterclass level, where they then use all their kindness and they'll use their right hand to also serve their left hand. So they're still going to be left dominant. So understand it's kind of a game for these people, and it's the way they enjoy going through life. They enjoy feeling bad. They enjoy feeling guilty. They enjoy feeling hurt. They enjoy feeling broken and dysregulated. They also enjoy it when you feel hurt, broken, dysregulated. It empowers them. So they're getting the attention from you. They're getting and they're enjoying their negative. They enjoy the negative feelings because then it empowers them for the next cycle, which is to then use their left hand and beat you with it. So this is just a different mindset. I'm not going to call it sociopathic, narcissistic, or psycho. Just understand some people twist it to their advantage. Okay, and you may not like that quality about yourself. You could be like, oh my goodness, my dark side is a lot darker than I realized, a lot more cunning, a lot more manipulative, a lot more assertive and aggressive and cold. calculating, good evil side, good evil side. But with love and compassion, I won't inflict everyone with this. Instead, I will use it to my advantage, but I will also respect the powers and try to keep it in a balance and not let it overtake me, or recognize when it is starting to overtake me and go to a counselor, get some medication. I can be open and honest. You can say, hey, one reason why you like me as the boss is because I'm also the monster. Fortunately, I'm also working on up feeding the angel, empowering the angel in me. So the angel and the demon can be in balance. And so I think a lot of people who believe in like good and evil don't realize you can be in a balanced world where evil and good coexist. And because there's no such thing as evil and good, those were labels, those were definitions, ideas that you assigned to certain attitudes, assigned to certain behaviors. If you're all angel and love and light and not going to harm anything, then someone might rob, cheat, murder you. You have no strength. And if you're completely opposite, because you've convinced yourself that all those good qualities make you a target, then you become the bully, from the victim to the bully. In your mind, you've twisted it and you think you're the hero. In your mind, you've twisted it and you're fighting for women's rights or transgender rights, because, I'm definitely on board with transgender and women having their rights. That's why I say that. It's not that I'm against it, I'm all for it. I'm just saying we look at our motives. And so this is where we become accountable and responsible. This is where we put ourselves on the stand to be questioned, judged. Okay, we have to use Wonder Woman's golden lasso on ourselves and find out what is our true motive, where are we really coming from. The cool thing is you also get to be the corrections officer. You can implement corrective procedures. You're going to go to counseling. You're going to go pet some dogs, hug a few kids, shake a few hands, give some elderly people some hugs, and you're going to balance your amazing, horrific, monstrous evil side. Because I love my evil side, and I don't feel like I give them enough attention. I feel like I lean towards my angel and I lean towards being naive and blissed out, kind of like in that new age trance. So when people start showing their right to exert their toxicity in real life situations, like surprise, throwing you a nice pile of crap because I feel like it, because I'm not getting the attention. So denser people, low vibrations, and I would call it uneducated, because lack of awareness equals less information. Uh, when they're doing it, living their joy, living their toxicity, it takes me by surprise, and then I'm like, what's going on? It can spin me out for a minute. But so realize, why does that person stay victimized? Because they like it. Why do they eat garbage? Because they like it. Why do they put themselves in disempowering situations? Because they like it. Why do they drag people under secretly behind closed doors? Because they like it. How come the tables turn? The victim becomes the abuser and then makes it and showcases it in such a way that the public only sees the real victim acting out and is framed as the abuser. So usually the victim is actually the abuser. They just enjoy both parts, and they go covert abuser. So yeah, they love to display the victim and then they covertly abuse. So that would include people doing magic behind closed doors against or to try to lure people in. The siren energy, the harpy energy, the hag energy, those are just examples. I think we have the deadbeat dad, let's see, the crazy megalomaniac CEO dude. Who else? Oh, the the abusive cop. So just to try to balance it out to give us some more examples, the bully on the playground. So we play all parts, we play all roles. No one is just the bully, no one is just the victim. And usually the opposite is what is on the inside. Okay. So I think I was kind of like straight to the point. Why people don't heal is because they like where they're at. Even they may not know it, but whatever toxic behavior, attitude, thought process is going on, they actually think it's going to serve them. And they might choose that in the moment, and then it doesn't. But that's the real reason why we don't let go. That's the real reason why we don't change. Let's see. There was really a lot on it, but I think I really got to the point. Oh, yes. Poison. Things get poisonous. Yes, they do. The longer you keep it, the more toxic it gets. Let's see. And then we already... So a lot of this toxicity actually comes from media. It comes from outside of you. And you, at one point, subscribe to some twisted idea. Like I remember, never let your husband know you're pleased and satisfied was a phrase I heard from an older woman telling a younger woman. And in that philosophy, it was to keep your man always working and serving you. So in the religious cult that's out here in Utah, it's kind of programmed into women to have unrealistic expectations of men and to use that. So you groom your children to feel like they're not enough and they can't ever please mom and dad. Then they get married and the wife assumes that role of an unpleasable woman to keep her man in servitude. That's not love, that's not equality, that's not relationship, that's not partnership, that's toxic programming. So here, that was a good example of, that doesn't really sound right. But since my mom and my sisters and everyone in this group has their husbands, and dad is pretty nice, he hasn't walked out and cheated and he pays the bills, I think that will work for me. And then I won't have to worry if I'm enough. Then I won't have to, I don't know, put on makeup, shave my legs, wax my mustache, go work out, be a great sexy wife. I'll just adopt this attitude so much easier. And so unconsciously, I've noticed this pattern through just witnessing it myself from my perspective. That's how I'm seeing it. Unpleasable mothers creating unpleasable daughters. And this unpleasability, the only people that you can keep are ones who are trying to please their parents still. So it creates a toxic pattern. It's a twisted idea. So that's external. So I think in a lot of teen romance movies. Oh, he likes me, I like her, or whatever it is. We like each other. So now I'm not going to tell the truth and I'm going to not reply to that text. I'm going to keep him wanting. I'm going to play indecisive. I'm going to date this other person and this other person, even though I like him. Sending mixed messages. These twisted ideas keep the drama going, keep the story going. But in reality, it cuts you off. In reality, it creates fear. It creates insecurity, doubt, unsafety, and can lead to potential violence, harm, self-harm. But in the very end, it's self-undoing and self-sabotage. And it comes from adopting twisted ideas or taking an idea and twisting it yourself. Depending upon your age that you took in that idea, you may not fully grasp it and twist it. Depending upon your own mood, your emotional well-being, your chemical constitution, you can twist information. We unknowingly twist information. Our ego twists it and goes, yeah, I'm a really loving person. I wonder if I could also get my bills paid. How can I use this good quality to get what I want? That's where a lot of twisting happens. How can I twist this truth to get what I want, to manipulate? Going back to lack consciousness, because underneath, I don't feel I'm enough. My parents didn't let me know just being alive was enough. I'm a gift. I'm worthy to be fed, housed, clothed, talked kind to, loyalty, support, security instead of abandonment, instead of guilt and shame and feeling like a burden and a cost and a liability. So it really comes down to that kind of inner child stuff and lack consciousness, however you got it. And now you're twisting your talent, skills, resources, your genius, and you're turning into a maniacal monster. You're turning evil. You could take a real pain and twist and twist and twist and twist it until it comes out really toxic and poisonous. But then you deny that because you can't live with yourself. So then you start denying it, rejecting it, compartmentalizing it, running away from it, blanking out, complete disassociation, seeking entertainment and thrills, getting obsessed about latest trends and other people, and the demon is growing in power. And it's gonna overpower you in certain situations when you feel triggered. That person went through a red light. I need to now be justice and hunt them down, so you go vigilante, you go bounty hunter on people. You assume the authority to start controlling other people, places, and things. And it really comes from that place where you're subscribing to ideas. So my toxic sister is really into the idea of the woman being the hero, especially redheads. She's red hair. I'm adopted, which I think is cool and all. I love it. But it gets twisted where she goes vigilante and bounty hunter when she's not getting attention, when she's getting jealous, when she's feeling envy. So she doesn't let herself completely feel, man, I feel worthless. I really want my brother's attention. I'm so jealous that he wants my other sister's attention. Why does he worship her and not me? And then I don't want to be mad at my sister because I love her and she's been through stuff. So I'll attack him. Instead of going through that whole process, she just feels triggered and it unleashes. And that negative energy has built up over 50 years. So it's hard for her to control it, you know? And she has some like religious motives and all sorts of other things. So it kind of creates a perfect storm. So the best way to defend against it is recognize it's coming from woundedness, low self esteem, and if you feel so inclined, give them a little love and give them more and give them more till they've had their fill. They usually can't have very much. Uh, it's so foreign to them, it feels like an attack sometimes. So you can just long spoon them a little bit love, put up your boundaries, and try to make sense. You can try to make sense of it, but at the end of the day, you have to say, is this my moment or yours? Is this my story or your story? Is this literally, is this my life? And choose you, which is something your enemy is not doing. They're actually hyper focusing on you, making you the center of their reality. They need you to make them feel relevant. They need your approval, your praise, your involvement, your fight to build a story, to keep the illusion and the delusion alive. Uh, but understand they're really coming from an empty place. And it's usually a twisted belief that reinforces, you know, that boosts their ego. And in the moment, these negative behaviors feel empowering, like he deserves it. He's such a inconsiderate jerk. He's not noticing me, so I'm just going to give him negative energy and see what happens. I call it shit testing. I need to shit test everyone. I shit test everyone. And they all need to prove themselves before I let them into my world. That's a very common thing. So we give ourselves the entitlement and the excuse and the alibi for our negative behaviors, and we turn a blind eye to it. We give ourselves that consideration, but we don't give others. We're so considerate of our dark side, we go completely unconscious of it. This video is going to end. I hope that shed light on why people don't heal, why people love their toxicity, why they keep wanting to drink more and stay intoxicated.